The last couple of skills that I want to show you is about adding our finishing touches to the shipping container pop-up cafe. There's three things we're going to do now. Have a look at how to apply textures to our surfaces to give it a more finished look. How to import an image so that you can add your own branding to your design. And lastly, how to get some furniture from the 3D warehouse and adjust it so that the size fits your design just right. So let's get started first of all with adding some textures to your build. You can see that I've got the sink here. So this is a wet area. And in most wet areas, you'll usually see what's called a splashback. That is tiles to keep the actual building itself dry. So we're going to add a strip of tiles along behind the sink. So let's grab the rectangle tool. I'll head to an intersection, left click, stretch it out across the wall. All right, so I've created the rectangle where I'm going to put my tile material. But of course, tiles are usually like 4 millimeters thick or so. So I'm going to just get push-pull and zoom in a little bit so that I can make it look like these tiles have a little bit of depth to them. There we go, just a little bit. And now I'll go across to the materials palette and I'll scroll down and see if I can find some tiles that, or some stone. I could use some stone. All right, I'll grab this tile texture here and just pour it onto the front face and the top surface, okay? So that it looks like I've got some tiles behind my sink. Of course, we can use the same method to put some texture onto the walls. Let's keep the wall textures simple. So that might be the wall texture for the top. All right, so that space is looking a little bit more finished. Now let's add a piece of furniture from the 3D warehouse. I'm doing a search for a commercial refrigerator to see if there is something that I might be able to fit underneath the counter. All right, when you're bringing something in from the warehouse, just have a look at the file size. So 70 kilobytes is a very small file size, which I like because it means it's not going to slow my model down. My computer's not going to glitch out because it's a small model. So let's see if that fits in my space. I'm going to download it. And of course, when you download it, it'll stick to your mouse. It'll move it around until you place it, okay? So I'm going to that spot looks good under the counter. Click to drop it down. Now it's sticking out a little bit. So I'm going to make it a little bit more narrow. So use the resize tool, the scale tool. Let's use the scale tool to resize the fridge a little bit. Click. And then all the green squares, of course, are all those handles. We've looked at this tool in an earlier skills video. So I'm going to take this front handle because that's the one that handles the size, like the width. So that looks pretty good. Oh, it's floating off the ground. You can see how important it is to use this orbit tool and get a really good view all around, because I couldn't see that it was sitting on that it was floating. So let's grab the move tool. Now notice that the fridge that I have brought in doesn't actually have any textures on it. So someone has designed this just as a 3D shape, but no texture. So I'm going to use, again, the same process to put textures onto the fridge. Now it is one whole group. If I left click on it, you can see that it's a grouped element. I could probably explode it and give each element of this shape its own texture, but I'm not going to do that today. You know how to explode things, so you can do that yourself if you find an object like this. So I'm just going to use a standard grey metal for the commercial fridge. All right. So I've got a fridge, I've got some textures, I've got a wooden bench top, I've got some tiles behind my sink. Now, the third thing I want to show you is how to import an image so you can add branding to the front of your business. So let's go onto the outside. All right, if I want to have like a menu or a logo on the front of my shipping container, I'm going to start off by creating a rectangle. And I'm going to put the rectangle right in the middle of one of these ribs. I don't want to put it here, right? Because if I do that, you'll notice it goes behind the rib. So I don't want to put it there. I want to put it in the middle of the rib itself so that, and I'll just do a small one to show you. So once I've created it sitting on the front, so you can see there's a gap. There's a gap there. So now if we use the push-pull tool, I can bring it forwards so that it looks like a piece of wood or it looks like a sign that is stuck to the front of the shipping container. So that's how you'll do it. Make it bigger than mine, but just for the sake of getting to the next step, I'm leaving mine small. So once you've created the size of the sign that you want, and you need to create it so that it matches the proportion of your logo. Whether you've made it in Canva, whether it's an image you found online, you kind of just want to have it a similar size. So this is the next step. So in the hamburger menu on the top left-hand corner, you'll click and then go down to Import and My Device. You now need to go and find the image, the JPEG or the PNG that you're going to use. I've selected my image, but now SketchUp wants to know, is this an image, like just a one-off occurrence of the object, or is this a material? If I choose material, it will then behave like a texture that you can pour onto the wall. So maybe, we'll do that in a second, but let's first of all do it as an image. So we're doing the image option first. Now, it will stick to your mouse until, and you can see I've got this blue little anchor point. I'm going to left click at the bottom left-hand corner of this prepared space. Left click, hold the mouse button down, and then drag it out until it fills the space the way that I want it. There we go. So now the image scaled according to how much I drag the mouse. Now this isn't quite big enough, so I'm just going to get the move tool and grab this section and move this section up. There we go. All right. That's how you can add some branding, logos, or menus. Okay, so this time we're going to import an image, but we're going to treat it as a material. For example, let's say I didn't like this tile splashback. I thought it was too boring and I needed something with a pop of color. I went and found some tiles on the internet that I thought were really cute, and I want to bring them into this and replace this. So we're going to do the same thing. Click on the hamburger menu in the top left-hand corner, go Import and From My Device, because I saved the file and I saved it in my Pictures folder. So I chose the file, and now again it's asking me, is this a one-off image or is this a material that will be repeated on the model? This time I'm clicking Material. Again, the image will appear and it will stick to my mouse and I can move it around. But because it's a material, you can see the Paint Bucket tool is automatically selected. Now, if I want to put it on here as a tile, I get to decide how big these individual green tiles are, because they are massive. And you can see that if I just put it in place, those tiles are too big. But I want them to appear at about a third of the size. So again, I'm going to left click, stretch it out, and now you can see how big the material is going to be. So I want it to be, okay, I want the individual tile sizes to be about that big. And then I let go, and it automatically fills that area with my new tile set. Now I need to do the same thing with the top of these tiles, right? Because now I've got this remnants here. I don't have to import the image again because it's already imported. I can find this as a material in the materials palette now. Click on materials. When you click on the home icon, you can see there's a heading materials in use. That means if I scroll down, there's my green tiles that I imported. So now left click and pour it onto, and it's even kept the sizes correct. So there you go. There are 3 things that you can do to finish off your project. Add textures to the walls, choose a custom image as branding for the front of your business, and put some furniture in and change the scale of the furniture so it meets the size of your design. I can't wait to see your finished products, and I'm really looking forward to sharing those with the Wonona community.